fast Wi-Fi. You use it to connect just about everything, which means having really fast Wi-Fi matters. A lot. That's why Xfinity is breaking the gig barrier and delivering Wi-Fi speeds faster than a gig. It's more than enough speed to power every device in the house. Can your internet do that? Introducing Gig Wi-Fi. New from Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store to learn more. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary and are not guaranteed.
Free Picks Against the Spread podcast for Wednesday, February 18th, brought to you by OffshoreInsiders.com, the sports betting podcast brought to you by OffshoreInsiders.com. We should do this more often, and in fact we are, but folks, please show your support for the podcast, and here is a reward for those loyal podcast listeners. If you buy any package of any handicapper, including the bet at Trinity, if it's a weekly package, we will extend it to 10 days. In fact, the bet at Trinity package will extend it to 11 days. So that is 4 days free with a purchase of 7 days if you get the bet at Trinity, or 7 days extended to 10 days if you get Joe Duffy's picks, Stevie Vincent, or the Master Lockline. All you have to do is purchase a weekly pick pack and then send us an email, offshoreinsiders@icloud.com. That's offshoreinsiders at iCloud, offshoreinsiders@icloud.com. Tell us you're taking advantage of this podcast offer, and we will extend to you those free days. By the way, we know this podcast will be out on the internet in perpetuity. This offer is good until Friday night, 11:59 p.m., February the 20th, 2015. This is available until Friday night, February 20th, 2015. All right, now here are your news and notes for college basketball. Last day without the NBA. The NBA returns from the All-Star break on Thursday. Elon in the College of Charleston. Elon is still without Luke Eddy. They were 6-1 with him, 5-10 without him. All records are against the spread, except when we're very specific. Sometimes we talk about over-unders, but all records are against the spread, including they are 1-6 the last 7 without Luke Eddy, minus 6.7 points per game. That is based on the sweat barometer or margin of cover, so that is minus 6.57 points per game against the spread. They have failed to cover over their last 7 games. Now, how good is Eddy? Played 11 games this year, 13 points per game. College of Charleston, though, is 4-17-1 their last 22 by minus 3.9 points per game. Vanderbilt and Florida. For Florida, Michael Frazier is still out. 23 games, 13.2 points per game, 4.6 boards, 31 steals, 1.6 assists per game. Florida is the most unlucky team in the nation, according to the Ken Palm metrics. That's right, out of 351 Division I teams, they're the most unlucky team in the nation. Now, according to a lot of handicappers, what that means is they are undervalued, that unlucky teams would be undervalued and the lucky teams would be overvalued, many theorize. They do have the 11th toughest schedule in the nation. Florida has strength of schedule. Vanderbilt, though, is the 4th most unlucky team. So again, according to that theory, both Vanderbilt and Florida would be teams to keep an eye on to bet on, but of course they are playing head-to-head tonight. Ball State and Kent. Jimmy Hall is out for Kent. They're 2-2 without him, covering the first game, but they are 1-2 since, after an 11-6 overall start to the year. Remember, another train of thought is when a team loses a key player, they can rally around him short term, but the longer he's out, the more of a go against that team becomes. And, early indications are that may be the case with Jimmy Hall. 21 games, 15.1 points per game, 7.5 rebounds. So he is no small loss, 1.6 assists per game, Jimmy Hall for Kent. Richmond against St. Bonaventure. The Spiders are the 347th luckiest team, hence they are one of the more unlucky teams in the nation. St. Bonaventure, right kind of smack in the middle, the 207th luckiest team. But again, that theory would say that Richmond might be a team to bet on over the next few games. Ball State and Kent. Ball State, 346th luckiest team. Kent, the 67th luckiest. So that theory would say that Ball State would be undervalued in this game and Kent could be a little bit overvalued. Ball State, get specific, 7 single-digit losses, 4 were by 4 or less. Davidson and George Washington, Jack Gibbs remains out for Davidson. 16 games this year, 15.8 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 24 steals, 4.9 assists. Oakland and Wright State. Wright State's Joe Thomason missed the last game due to concussion. He is not expected to play tonight. He averages in 24 games 10.3 points per game, 5.5 rebounds. Keep in mind, they've already been without J.T. Yoho since January the 14th. Yoho in 15 games averages 16.1 points per game, 6.7 rebounds, and 2.1 assists. So Wright State, to say the least, shorthanded tonight. By the way, one of the reasons you want to get Joe Duffy's picks tonight, you have 2 winners in college basketball, and this is just, as we file this, occasionally we do add late steam, so you're going to get at least 2 winners from Joe Duffy's picks. Remember, you get 3 free days of Joe Duffy's picks with the weekly pick pack. Just email us at offshoreinsiders@icloud.com. First, purchase the pick pack, the weekly pick pack, and as long as you email us with the same address you purchased from, we'll be able to find you, no problem. It's easy peasy, as they say. 3 free days with a weekly pick pack, and if you happen to buy the bet at Trinity, we'll give you 4 free days. Northern Iowa and Loyola Chicago. For Loyola of Chicago, Milton Doyle remains out. Though they lost against the spread the first 2 games without him, they're a deceptive 6-1 since. The reason we say deceptive is that it's by a .878 margin in those 7 games, despite a 6-1 spread run. They're not covering by much. 2 of the covers were by a half a point, and half a point each, that is. So a combined 1 point in 2 of those covers, and the one at Vegas setback was by 17.5 points. In fact, Loyola is 14-8 on the year, but by just a .7 margin of cover. Now, as far as how valuable is Milton Doyle in 17 games, he averaged 11.5 points per game, 3.4 rebounds. He had 18 steals and 12 blocks. East Carolina and Tulsa. Tulsa, the 6th luckiest team in the nation. The theory says that they would be overvalued. They're the 41st best defense, allowing just 94 points per 100 possessions. Now, by comparison, ECU is the 229th luckiest team in the nation. And Tulsa, more specifically, they're 8-1 in games decided by 8 or fewer points. 2 of their wins were by 2 or fewer points. And another way to state lucky would be deceptive records. That, the theory being that Tulsa has the 6th most deceptive record in the nation as far as being positive, that if it weren't for some good luck, they would have a worse record. That is what the luck measures. I know I'm probably stating the obvious for you, but as far as, there aren't necessarily any obvious bets. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any bookmakers out there. But as far as the highest percentage plays, Joe Duffy's picks since 1988 publicly, I've been giving you virtually every single year in every single sport, upper 50s to lower 60 percentile winners at offshoreinsiders.com. Remember, until Friday night, February 20th, 2015, you can get 3 free days of my picks. Just get the weekly pick pack and then email us at offshoreinsiders@icloud.com, and we will add those 3 free days. www.offshoreinsiders.com.
Pros bring something extra to every job. Now at the Home Depot, they also get something extra. Pro Extra, our free loyalty program built for pros just like you. Members earn perks with every dollar spent, like Pro Extra Dollars, a tool rental credit, and more. New members get $20 off their next in-store purchase of $200 or more just for signing up. Learn more at homedepot.com/Pro Extra. New year, more rewards, Pro Extra, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.